So I just finished watching Fast X, and yeah, it was spoiler alert. Damn, was a some bitch. What did the box say at the end? Some bitch. So a lot of the people actually left towards the end of the film, and I thought to myself, what the fuck are these people doing? There's gonna be a post credits. I'm just looking around the cinema, going, what are these people just leaving? There's definitely a post credits. It definitely has to be. Just left on a cliffhanger. I was looking at myself, going, seriously? You know, like ignite the entire fucking dam, blow the fucking thing up, yeah? There's some bitch, you gotta blow the fucking entire thing up. But yeah, it just leaves on a fucking cliffhanger. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, fine, what's gonna be next? Because you've got Wonder Woman emerges from a submarine right at the fucking bottom, going, what the hell's going on there? So what's gonna happen here? So they've escaped out of this facility with no one. Yeah, let me backtrack here. What's her name, for Sniper? I don't know. Charlize Theron, whatever fucking character that she plays. So they're like, it's going to go 4 minutes, and the alarm's going off, and there's no guards, no one to stop them. So okay, why not? No logic. Seriously, this film, so many plot holes, cheesy as hell. But you know, to be honest, I actually liked it. Sometimes having cheese can be good. Maybe not too much cheese, because it's like some sort of fucking sloppy ass Philly cheesesteak, but enough cheese, it's okay. But yeah, have to admit to myself, I actually enjoyed it. The action, it was non-stop action. Some CGI felt a bit sort of glitchy. I think it was CGI, was like him coming off the car, so you know what, you took away my family, you took away my money, you didn't take away my car. Yeah, Dom, you didn't. Vin Diesel, as always, man, did not take away. But you know what, I'm glad it's come full circle. You got some sort of like old people that have come back, so I'm glad to see some old having face. I'm good about the whole point with, I'm good about the fact that they've now made a truce. So you've got Vin Diesel, you've got The Rock now coming together. I suppose, with the whole DC franchise sort of like combusting, I guess you've got like Aquaman, Jason Momoa still there as well. You've got Wonder Woman, and obviously The Rock. So you've kind of got these DC people looking for other jobs, because, after they've sort of said, James Gunn's going to say, revamp, recast the entire fucking DC universe, I guess they're going to use Flash for that entire thing. So they've recast now Fast and Furious, the new Fast 11. What is it called? Fast X1. It's going to be like a Final Fantasy shit. I don't know. But, you know what? It was good. So, back home now, and we can talk a bit more about this as well. So a couple of things that kind of like irk me about this as well. Sure, you've got Jacob back, played by John Cena. You've got his son. So the casting of the son character kind of pissed me off. I didn't like the kid, to be honest. And again, I understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to make everyone inclusive. You've got the son character, but he doesn't match right. He's the son between Vin Diesel and that police officer, I think. But the police officer is pretty fair skin, sort of Latin, and then you've got Dom, who's also a fair skin Latin, sort of. It just makes sense. You've got some Brazilian looking, some like Sao Paulo looking kid who's basically, it didn't make sense. But anyway, let's just ignore that. Didn't like the kid in general anyway. He just felt just in the way a lot of times, just flipping in the way. I understand why he was there, but basically to have that whole sort of family sort of thing where take apart your entire family, get your best friends arrested, and then kidnap your son, and obviously then family is everything to Dom. So yeah, I get the whole reason for having the kid there, but he just felt a lot of times he just got in the way. And again, going back, Jacob reoccurring back in this thing as well, and him having to sacrifice himself in order for Dom to carry on, and then basically this whole entire chase scene with the helicopters trying to pick up the car, and him basically using Nos and taking out the helicopters and swinging the helicopters around. I get that, okay? It's just stupid, pointless action. I didn't think that John Cena had to sacrifice himself, and the character this time around, it felt a lot more comical. Like with him with the old beat up car, with the tapes and stuff, it just felt like James Gunn is trying to put Peacemaker in the casting not Jacob, but Peacemaker the character in this film, which did not make sense at all. And I was just thinking to myself, look, John Cena is funny, I get it, but there's no reason to have him basically be a laughing goof, that rough, tough sort of guy. I understand why they did it, because John Cena can do it, he's a funny guy, but then I didn't think they had to use that whole Peacemaker sort of stick to shove it into this film. And again, let's talk about the other big elephant in the room. Jason Momoa's character, him being this flamboyant, sort of weird, eccentric. I'm not sure if that's a pro or that's a con. Look, the good thing is, it's memorable. You are not gonna forget his character. What this film? This about some other this Netflix film that came out. You remind me of the character in there, where basically he's some sort of like horned ass thing. Don't know what that film was. I couldn't actually finish it. I just watched it for the very beginning and stuff as well, where basically this kid is in a lighthouse and something happens, and then she's transported to a different dimension. Anyway, the character Jason Momoa being this whole flamboyant, sort of weird, crazy, psychopathic. I don't know what he is, but I'm not sure that worked. Would have been cool just to see, but then you can't have all the same characters. I mean, you've got one guy who's like the tough, badass guy, which is Dom. You've got the goofy, funny sort of uncle, which is Jacob, and then you've got this weird, eccentric villain, which is this. I understand where they've got these little different, just to differentiate the characters themselves, but I would have hoped that it would have been just more sort of cut through, because again, this guy, he's got a backstory where basically he wants to like take apart Dom, and he wants to basically do everything to him, but rather than him being all this, could have just been a bit more sort of like cut and dry and aggressive and ruthless, and basically, you know, the whole, and having some ruthless aggression maybe, but who knows, man. Got a lot of critiques about it as well, but you know what, if I turn off my brain and stop thinking for a moment, it was a good film. I mean, to give it to it, it was like, I would say, in terms of action, like 9 out of 10 in terms of action. In terms of like the acting, maybe that was a bit I mean, Tyrese was funny. A lot of little parts of Tyrese, the little stuff there was funny. Him with like having the money, said, look, Banks, it's fine. Tyrese is just, you've got a funny guy, why add another funny guy? Just focus on Tyrese being a goofy ass fucking funny guy. But then in terms of like the rest of the acting was sort of like mid. Again, I did point out the fact about the whole sort of 4-minute sort of fight scene. What was that all about? They didn't have to say 4 minutes. We're out there, we better be quick. The alarms will go. Don't put a timer on it, because everyone's going to say it's a bit longer than 4 minutes and the time's going and there's no guards and you guys have just escaped. At least, but you know, if you've had a fight and the alarm's been set off, have guards off the room, and then say, you know what, man, you know, the enemy of my enemy is my enemy, or something. You know, that thing that Charlize Theron did. Give it to her, man. She is pretty kick-ass when it comes to like fighting and stuff. These choreography fight scene sort of stuff that she did, pretty cool. But yeah, I'm not sure about it. Anyway, in terms of acting, it was mid, like 5 out of 10, 4 out of 10. Action was great, like 9 out of 10. 10 was, yeah, I wouldn't say that. There were a couple of little scenes that just didn't need to be there. So I'll give it like a 7 if you put in, you know, everything into consideration. So Fast X gets a 7 out of 10. Peed off about the end, you know, with the whole cliffhanger sort of stuff, but I understand they want to sort of milk it as much as they can. They can't fit so much into just one film in this sort of small amount of time. But yeah, anyway, this has been Ace. Hope you enjoyed that little movie review for Fast X, and I'll see you guys next time. As always, Ace out.